Hello again, and welcome back. So this is the locomotive I mentioned in the 671 RR repair service video. I was looking for a 2056 in particular this payday, and I did not want to pay the buy it now prices on any of them that looked half decent, because it was just too much. And there was a couple different ones up for bid I was looking at, and I ended up bidding on this one and winning it, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because it looked way better in the posting than it does in person. Like, mistakes were made. This is rough. I'm pretty sure this was in a flood. It's rough. You can probably already tell from the pictures, it is just a mess. The only good things about this is it's mine, and it looks like somebody rewired the tender at some point. But the more I look at it, the worse it gets. I just discovered this. That's awesome. I'll put that aside for now. But this is really rusty, and definitely not the locomotive I thought I was getting. You can see the surface is all very pitted and paint is chipped off. The seller claims it does run, so we'll see. I will remember to do the test run this time. If you're looking inside here, the lever for the E unit is rusty. The axle for this rear truck is bent, and if I spin this over, you will see that this rear driver has taken a hit at some point in time, and it's bad enough that it actually hits that gear if I put pressure on it. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this. I would probably whack it with a hammer, but that would probably cause a stress crack, and so I'm probably just going to file it. But it's dirty, it's dry, it's really nasty. Normally when I take these apart, I try to put everything in a nice pile over here on this side, because I intend to put it back together like that, like as soon as I'm done. Like, it goes together right after I'm done taking it apart. I pretty much just clean it up and put it back together. But in this instance, I am going to do the test run, and I am going to just take everything apart as far as I dare and chuck it in here, and I'm just going to spend the next couple of days cleaning this the best I can, and I will probably actually break out the paint and put some paint on it. I'm probably not going to do nothing about the steam chest, but the body I can probably clean up, and maybe even put a little oil in here to soak parts. I am kind of upset about it, because this is definitely not the locomotive I thought I was getting. But realistically, I mean, it's only time and effort, and I was going to take it apart for and service it for this video anyway. So, I mean, I'm just going to be just scrubbing a little bit more than usual. So, let's go give it its test run and see what it does. Alright, she's on the track and ready. If it does run, it's probably going to be really loud. Lots of electrical buzzing and humming from the E unit and motor and whatnot. Honestly, I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, my OG original 736 from back in the day was probably in just as bad a shape as this. It even had the bent wheel on the truck, so it's kind of nostalgic, I guess. I'm just still a little upset, but I'm going to hit the lever and see what it does. Well, that's actually a wonderful surprise. That actually runs really, really good. So this won't be probably won't be nearly as bad as I think it will. Just a quick service and clean up all the dirt and some paint. I was kind of expecting it to be way worse. The sparks were expected because of how dirty the pickups were, but I'm good with that actually. This is clean it up, get it painted, throw some paint on, touch it up a little bit here and there. I bet this will be a good long runner for a good long time. Yeah. Wow, that was a shocker. I wasn't really expecting it to run that good. So this is really just a cleanup job at this point, I guess. We'll see where my OCD kicks in and takes over, but let's start undoing screws and see where it takes us. Get rid of the boiler front first, since it's here and easy. Go ahead and thread this back in so I don't lose it. Go ahead and get the lid off of this so I can just start chucking parts in it. Probably don't need to put that in there. Nice thing about doing this is everything's on video, and I have my 20, 40, 60s as reference, so if I get lost and don't know where things go, I can compare. Should pop off, and clean that up really easy. That's not a big deal. Cobwebs and stuff in there. I don't think this thing's ever been apart. The screws have no evidence of tinkery, except for my tinkeries. I should probably start with all this side gears and stuff. The screw to this eccentric is bent, I can tell already. Oops. Just slightly. I don't know if it picks up on camera. So it'll be fine. Should pop out. That's definitely going to need a good scrubbing. I don't remember how this comes apart. We'll figure it out. We'll do this other side next. That one's fine. should take this off, I think. Oops, don't want to damage that. Well, there. That's not horrible. Sticker's trying to come off though. I might have to get some glue or something for that. Alright. So how does this come apart? I don't remember. This seems different than the 2046. It's been a while since I had that apart. But let's see. Looks like under the smoke unit there's a couple rusty screws holding the steam chest on. Get rid of this. Yep. Have to clean those up. I can see some burn marks on that. We might want to go ahead and change that wire out while we're at it. What is that for? That's the light. All right. So we'll go ahead and get this off. I hope. Pretty long screw. This is one of those times where I wish I had a what you call it, sonic cleaner. I'm going to start this screw back in here. Just so it's not flopping around. And see what else we can do here. So on this, it would appear that these, what is this, a valve gear or something, is held on with it. These rods are ran in through the frame and then bent over. So it is possible to remove them. Not the screw I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to have to be really careful with these. Maybe attempt to remove these nuts. And go ahead and remove the side rods. It's fine. Come on. That one's a little whopper jawed, but we can fix that. I think that's supposed to be black. Oh, maybe this isn't burnt. Maybe just a black cover. That's for the pickup. How much farther do I want to go with this? I'm not going to do much more today. I want to attempt to clean this up a little bit. So I might have to desolder things. Let's go ahead and get stuff out of the way. And let's take a look at the brushes. The commutator. I actually might put this plate back on, since I'm not doing much more today. Come on. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty dirty. But the actual, oh, there's dirty and greasy. But the actual thing itself doesn't look that bad. So I think that's probably all I'm going to do for today. That works really well despite how dirty it is, so I'll just try to clean that up a little bit, oil it. Yeah, I think that's as far as I'm going to go with this right now. From here on out, it's just a cleanup job, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. Current me is really tired. But I might, off camera, turn on the show on YouTube and maybe clean up the shell a little bit. So So I'll put this aside and I will get to you guys later when I'm cleaning stuff up. So it's about 9 hours later. And what I did after that last bit of filming is I took my tester semi-gloss and a clean skewer and started slowly filling in all the paint chips after I went over it with a brush and wiped it down with IPA. And I didn't do all of them, all the little bits right now, but I'm probably gonna put more on it. But what I did is I painted it, and I kind of debating whether or not I improved it or not, because it was all black, but you could clearly see the tester's paint was a little bit glossier. But from any kind of real viewing distance, it looked fine. But after I let it dry and woke up, I took my finger and thumb, you can probably see some, and just started rubbing it, and lo and behold, it blended in. Now obviously here in the direct light you can still see the paint chips. Like, I was never trying to make it perfect, but I mean, I say that looks way better than I thought it was going to look. It actually looks worse on camera with the light picking up all the things, but in person that disappears. So tomorrow I am going to probably start on the side rods and whatnot tomorrow morning, and probably later took Wednesday off work, so I probably finish that up later than tomorrow. And I took this plate off, side plate off here, and there is a piece of something in there. I'm not sure what. Can't tell if that's metallic or not. Yeah, it's metallic. It's shiny. So that's a metal shaving off of something in the locomotive, so I'm kind of glad I removed that. I'll probably start cleaning bits like that off too, and then get back to the video. So real quick, this is basically how I'm doing this rods. Got some fine grade sandpaper, some oil. Just putting a little oil on it. God darn it, the camera's in the way. To help hold it. Taking the wire brush and just it's not the best, probably not the best way, but I don't have a wire wheel or a Dremel that didn't run at Mach 5. So this is how I'm gonna get it done. Oh. Not too bad. So I skipped ahead a few steps. You wouldn't normally have to disassemble it this far to do a basic service or whatnot. This thing seems to go together as a whole sub-assembly, so there's no reason not to. Wouldn't normally be a reason to take like all this apart, unless you need to service something in particular. The steam chest, I'm looking it over and it's a little bit worse shape than I thought, but it's fine. I repaired the one bent rod when I was cleaning them up, and really all I have to do now is the service. I also before I put a bunch of oil and grease on this thing to catch the metal shavings, the 2056 doesn't have magnet traction, so there would be nothing to catch the files and suck them in. So I went ahead and held that kind of like that angle and filed it so that most of the shavings go on the ground, and with no extra oil or anything, it shouldn't stick. I still got it. I also, while I was cleaning the rods, did my best to clean this lever. There's only so much I could do. Lever. And I also unscrewed this here and cleaned up the drum in the E unit, which is dirtier than I thought it would be. When we tested it, this thing was as quiet as a church mouse, so I expected this to be clean, since that's kind of the thing that transfers the electricity to the motor. But I mean, it's really clean. This side obviously turned out just as nice. So I've got a theory about this locomotive. I think I was right, and I think it was either stored somewhere either very damp or was in a flood. I mean, the top of the motor, the locomotive looks like a barnacle off the Titanic. And the sticker is trying to eject himself from the situation. And obviously, like, the bits of rust and corrosion and the thing. And you also seen, when I took this thing apart, how clean the commutator was compared to how filthy the brushes and plate are. I actually want to show you something on one of these brushes. This is the only time I've seen this, and that definitely looks like it got, oops, there, whoopsie, hot enough to where it kind of exploded there. So I think, seeing how dirty this is and how dirty these are and how clean this is, that it was probably, you know, somebody soaked it down with something, some contact cleaner, that brake clean, electrical cleaner, something to get it working. That's my theory, because I mean, this should be as dirty as this, but it's really clean from the looks of it. But I'm going to go ahead and start the service. So I can get this thing back together and out of my way. Ooh, that is pretty grody in there. Well, they missed something when they sprayed it, because it's pretty filthy in these grooves. There. I'll go ahead and As clean as it is, I'll go ahead and give it a once over with the fiberglass pencil. And a little bit of IPA. Oops. I want to clean this shaft up a little bit too. Now comes the fun part. We'll see how filthy this thing is. Yep. I don't want to twist because I don't want to catch them little springs in there and hurt them, damage them. But I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, they're pretty clean now. I need a rag. Well, let's work on this. I wonder quietly to myself. Yeah, that's good enough for who it's for. Clean up the brushes. That one's kind of mushroomed a little bit. That's probably about as good as those are going to get. Just out of the way, so I'll knock it over. Now on this one, kind of looks like I have a hard time getting those springs out of the way. So I'm hoping, well, let me get those screws out first. I'm hoping this is one of them deals where I can just pop the brushes in the brush plate and pop them on. But we will see. Oh no. Yes. I guess it would help if I was putting this thing on the right way, wouldn't it? That ain't bad. That wasn't bad at all. I just had to, you know, do it the right way. Come on. So start it. All right. Something is catching and making this thing wobble. Is one of these wheels rims bent? Besides the obvious. I think it's just worn. Yeah, I think it's just worn. All right. Oh, my back. All right. So the next step on this little project of mine is going to be that damaged rear wheel, or trailing truck wheel. I've never had one of these apart before, but actually looks like it shouldn't be that hard. Just pop these off, or spread these apart, and this plate should come out, and so should the wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. I'm going to cut the camera, because it's probably going to involve a hammer and a anvil outside in the garage. Well, that wasn't too horrible, I guess. I ended up getting some more stuff out from the wheels. What I ended up doing is opening up the vise in the garage to where I had the jaws just running along this inside, the inside of here, and the inside of this, putting pressure on the these little plates. So I had the truck sitting like this with the plates on the tops of the jaws of the vice grip, or the bench vice, sorry. And basically just took a hammer and a punch and just knocked these out a little bit. And that will straighten them out. Now the back wheel is the worst, but I can't really tell where I need to bend it because it's just a little bend. But throw that away. So this is done. I would like to actually, because of how rusty this is, rub a little bit of oil into it to help with the rust. I don't know if that's meant to be like that. I think it's meant to be like that. That's the only one like that I've seen, but all right, cool. So this big mess I've created is about ready to go back together. The only thing I really need to do now is clean the wheels, but they're not that bad. I will probably give these a once over with a wire brush. Because they're just not that bad. Maybe a less aggressive wire brush. Alright, except for this thing being still a little bit dirty. I mean, it seems like it is ready to go. I think this is bent too, it looks like. Oh well. Yeah, it's definitely bent to one side. Oops. That might be too much. I don't want that seeping in onto the commutator. Grease. Did not bring my grease over. 1 second. That's what she's binding up on. We'll just apply a little oil to that, or grease to that, or whatever. That is not over oiled. It's rust preventative. Yes, that's what we're gonna go with for preventing future decay. Now my 2046. This is actually loose, so I want to make sure that's not going to I'm not going to go to put this thing back together and it's going to be off-centered. And I'm trying to remember where the rest of these screws go. Oh yeah, okay. I had to think for a second. Oh. It was like 2 days ago now I started this. So. Let's see. Haha. Where did I put my screwdriver? I'm gonna leave that loose for a second. Need that one if it will politely come with me. Go in your home, please. There. Why didn't I just use this? This is magnetized. I'm an idiot. Alright, that's tight. That's tight. The unit's in place. See, this should be the front truck. There's a camera in my way. Aha. Where did I put that rear truck? and boiler front. We are done. There. What a nice little, fun little operation that was. All right, I'm gonna throw some oil on the tender wheels, and we will go run this thing for a minute. Well, there she is, and from a couple feet away, she looks all right. Unless I've done something to like the E-unit again by moving it around and bumping the wires, there's no real reason. I mean, it ran before and it ran really good before, so there's no reason it shouldn't run now. I must have bumped the wire. I will look into see what I did. So I've been playing with this thing for a minute, and I can randomly get it to go forward and backwards, but not reliably. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say when I was fiddling with it, I probably broke one of these wires internally, and it's just getting intermittent signal because the E-unit cycling. And if I do this enough times, it will eventually run. I just don't think it's getting power to where it needs to get power to. So I guess I will rewire this. Or at least check the connections in the unit itself to see if maybe they a solder joint broke, maybe. Because the rest of them, like, these look fine. So I will fiddle with this for a minute, I guess. Alright, I got that all done. And I am both shocked and surprised. That's what I would say if I was actually, you know, shocked and surprised. All right, let's try this again. Let me go get the shell put on and we'll run this thing again. All right, sanity check. Awesome. Give me a second, the route is not clear. Alright, she's ready to go. I probably should have changed the wires from the start. It's like a 70-year-old locomotive that I'm suspecting has been underwater, so the wires would have been a give me, I guess, but I was trying to be lazy. The only real surprise was the giant piece of solder that landed on my thumb while I was trying to solder. That made me screech a little bit, but Sweet. Another one in the books.